Hey everybody, good morning. I hope you are all doing well. Well, I say good morning, it could be afternoon depending on where you are. But I'm just going to give a couple of minutes for some people to hop on with us. If you can hear me, give me a like, a comment, something so that I know that my sound is working. But we'll go ahead and get started here in just a minute. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about building a team based on recognition. So just to introduce myself, my name is Hillary Charpentier, and I am currently a 2-star qualifying coach, lifetime 1-star, and I hit Success Starter, and I am going on 6 consecutive months of Success Club 10 or more. Just to go into why I started with Beachbody and a little bit more about me, I signed up back in May, and so I have not been coaching all that long, but I started when I was about 5 months postpartum. I wanted to lose the baby weight. I was not a person who had worked out before or anything like that, and so once I had my baby, I thought, oh goodness, I'm going to be stuck in this body forever. I really need to do something with myself. So I signed up for Beachbody. I am that person that everybody is like, oh, why can't she just get started? I got my box in after I waited forever to check out with my cart, and I just let it sit in my hallway. And finally, I don't really know what flipped the switch. My husband said something along the lines of, didn't you spend a lot of money on that? Are you going to do something with that, or is it just going to sit in the hall? And if you are a woman like myself, if a man tells you that you're not going to do something, it kind of just gives you that drive to go and prove them wrong. So I pushed play on my first workout and never looked back. Whenever I signed up, I told my coach that I was not interested in coaching. I was never going to coach. It was not something that I wanted to do, but I did want to get the coach account just so I could get the discount on things, because I mean, who doesn't want that 25% discount? That's awesome. I started with 21 Day Fix and then moved on to 21 Day Fix Extreme. And I slowly started to share some of my workouts on my stories. It was never with the intention of getting people to join me, but she kind of planted that seed in my head and said, hey, you do realize what you're doing is already coaching. You're getting people interested in what we're doing. So why don't you just consider coaching? By this point, I was in August. And so I just said, okay, I guess I'll give it a try, but I didn't really put much thought and effort into it. So right around that time, end of July, I signed up my first customer. And Team Cup was right around the corner. But we'll talk about Team Cup in just a little bit. So I had my first person in July. That's a couple of months of me working on myself. The first thing I want to say is, if you take away anything from this call, is that your job is your journey. You need to focus on yourself first and foremost. So it's totally okay that I didn't start out with a ton of people and I was focused on myself. I went all in. I was focused on my journey. People saw that I was excited, that I was loving what Beachbody was doing for me. And then that's really kind of what gave me the kickstart in the beginning, because I was just being true and genuine about getting started on this journey. One thing that I think is super, super important about keeping accountability in your group for retention, motivation, accountability for yourself is just being that model challenger. So when all else fails, just go back to that. Be the model challenger. That means checking in your groups, doing your workouts, drinking your shakes, staying on your nutrition. If you're not doing it, people that sign up with you are not going to do it either. So just kind of keep that in mind. But like I said, at the end of July, I signed up my first person, and I started thinking about, how am I going to let her know that I'm there to support her? How am I going to recognize her and keep her motivated? I certainly don't want to let her down. She signed up with me and I want to give her my all. So, one thing, when I started thinking about this, Jennifer asked me to talk about recognition, and it's something that I just absolutely love because I think it's so important. But the timing could not have been more perfect. I actually got invited to the New Leader Conference, and Kevin Shaw did a short little training for us the other day talking about recognition. And one of the things that he said just really stuck out to me, and I thought everybody needed to hear that. He said that leaders make recognition personal, and personal recognition can help remove even the toughest roadblocks. So I started to kind of sit back and think about what that really meant. What is personal recognition, and how can I incorporate that? And then I thought, no, I'm already doing that in my groups, which is great. So what do I mean by personal recognition? Not everybody's going to be motivated in the same way. Not everybody wants to be recognized in the same way. One of the things that I love to lean on is something called the 5 love languages. So if you've never heard of the 5 love languages, they are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and personal touch. If you don't know what your love language is, or others don't know that are in your group, you can just go and Google it and find a quick little easy quiz that you can do, and it tells you kind of what it is that is your love language, self-explanatory. But one of the coaches in our group did like a quick little Google form and just asked her coaches what their love language were. Another person did this for their challengers and talked to them about what their goals were for the year, what their love language was, how they could best be supported. And I just think that that is so awesome, because it's all about what works for that specific challenger or coach that's under you. So it's not a one size fits all type thing. One of the things that I think people misinterpret is that recognition needs to be something that's huge and, way out there, and there's only one way to recognize people. No, nothing is too small to recognize. Recognize people for all of their achievements along the way. That's kind of what keeps them going. So I just wanted to talk with you guys about some of the ideas of things that I do for both my challengers and for my coaches. And I didn't come up with all of these. A lot of these are things that other people in our groups do, or I see other people doing, but I just think they're great, so I wanted to share them. So whenever somebody signs up with me, the first thing that I do is I send them a little message telling them how excited I am for them to get started with our group. I add them into our challenge group, and then I get to work on writing them a personal handwritten note and a short little welcome packet that has some samples of some of my favorite products, whether it's Bevy or Beach Bars or Energize or shakes, whatever it is that they did not already purchase in their kit. So if they ordered a challenge pack that has shakes, then I usually will send them Energize, Hydrate, Beach Bar, other things. I know some of you are thinking, oh my gosh, this could get expensive, but I promise it pays off in the long run. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You can just give them one of those things if you want. But I write them a little note saying how excited I am for them to get started with our team, how I cannot wait to cheer them on and watch them reach their goals, and just to enjoy some of these little treats on me. And people really love that. I find, it takes a couple of weeks or sometimes a couple of days, depending on how far away they are from me, for their package to get there. And then if they haven't gotten started with the workouts right away, or they're still waiting on their package from Beachbody, then they open up that little welcome gift and they just send me a message about, oh my gosh, that was so sweet. Thank you so much. I was not expecting you to send me anything. So it really goes a long way. And then two, just for your business, the samples helps, with additional sales and things for people to get to try out products that they probably wouldn't otherwise try. And I think it's great for people to see that I use those things on a daily basis, so then they're more interested in using it, and it's more genuine. It's just me sharing what's helping me. It's not so much like, hey, I'm trying to make a sale or anything like that. But once they get started with us and they get started with their workouts, another thing that I love to do for my challengers or coaches is once they finish their first program, whether it's a 21-day program or a 100-day program or an 80-day program, I send them a little sticker decal that has our team logo on it and a little personal message, again, handwritten note, mailed to them that says, I am so proud of you for finishing your first program. You are absolutely killing it. I cannot wait to see what you do next. Let me know when you get this in. And then I start to talk to them about their next program. Another thing that I think is so important whenever somebody finishes their first program is just don't let them stop. It is so easy for people to finish that first program and then go, whew, I did good. Let me give myself a pat on the back and then I'm going to take a break and I'll get started back up soon. No, just keep going. Take a day or two for yourself, but keep going. So that kind of helps keep them motivated on the path. I also like to recognize people in our groups. So we do both a Facebook group and a bod group. It just kind of depends what people, use. Some people have Facebook, some people don't. Some people like the bod groups. Other people like to check in on their social media because they're already there. And we have little flyers that we post each week. So we have daily check-ins for movers, which is basically workouts, shakers, which would be obviously your shakes, and bonus babes, which just means like energize, recover, beach bars, any of the other products. And so they go and they comment underneath there every day whenever they have either completed their workout or drink their shake and whatnot. I like to go and scroll once a day at the end of the day and put like a little heart, a like, send them a funny GIF, however you pronounce it, and just make it fun, like interact with them, comment. If it's their first workout, I like to say, oh my gosh, girl, that's so awesome that you got your first workout in. Or if somebody says, ooh, today was killer, oh girl, me too, like today was so hard, be real and keep checking in with your people. At the end of the week, we do a thing called 100% Club. And so anybody who has checked in 5 or more times for their workouts or their shakes, then they go on a flyer for 100% Club. We do a fun little drawing. We go live in our group and we draw a name so that they can win a little prize. It doesn't have to be anything big. Sometimes it's a Fix8 cookbook. Other times it might just be, a beach bar or headbands or, something completely unrelated to Beachbody, but it's just kind of like a fun thing for those people that do like to receive gifts. And then their name goes on a flyer. I like to post those on my social media. Another thing that I think is really cool about recognizing people is that you can share it on your social media as a way to help grow your business. It really creates that FOMO, that people are wanting to see what you're doing. They see other people's names. Sometimes they wonder, like, I like to do a first name and like a last initial or just a first name, because then they start to think, wait, is that person that I know that's doing that with her? Oh, she signed up too. Oh, I wonder if I could do that. And then, it also creates that why not me mentality, because anytime you're shouting people out, especially if it has a picture or a name, then they can relate to that person and think, oh my gosh, if she's doing it, then I can do it. Because not everybody's going to relate specifically to you, but that doesn't mean that you can't help them as well. So people that go into our 100% Club, then I also like to do a drawing for a t-shirt that has our logo on it for my girls. So the stipulation for them is that they have to be on the 100% Club flyer 3 out of the 4 weeks in a month. So that gives them time to slip up or to just have a crazy, week, one of the weeks, and then they get into the drawing, and it just kind of really helps keep them motivated for those people, like I said, that love gifts. One of the things that we do for our coaches that I think is really, really neat, for anybody who hits Emerald, then they get an Emerald hat. So they have to, I know you don't technically have to hold to be a lifetime Emerald, but once they hit that Emerald rank and hold for 6 weeks, then they get an Emerald hat, and it just has our team logo on it. It's super fun. And then once they hit Diamond, then they get a little zip up jacket and a wooden cutout of the word diamond that they can put in their home office or just look at. And it's just been really fun. A lot of people really buy into that, and it kind of helps push those people to try to hit those ranks because they think, ooh, I want that. A couple of other ideas for challenge group recognitions. We started doing one for birthdays. So, I love whenever challenge groups are more community focused. I don't like for everything to just be Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody. I want to be a real life person and I want to connect with these people. So I think that anytime that you can incorporate fun little things like we've done before, just kind of like a thread of people showing their Christmas tree or, post a picture of your family or things of that nature. So we started doing birthdays. You comment the date of your birthday for whatever month it is. And then at the end of the month, we do a drawing for a fun little prize. And then for coach motivation, I love team-based motivation for coaches. So we do a thing called Ring the Bell. We basically just have a picture posted and we celebrate all of the small things along the way. We will comment anytime we have sold a challenge pack, sold a product, anytime we rank advance, anytime we hit Success Club, and other coaches are just going through and kind of liking and commenting and encouraging people to, keep going with all of that. We also celebrate anytime people make their first sale. And another super fun thing to do with your coaches, we just did a challenge for 9-week control freaks. So we set a goal as a team to help 100 people. And we got a whiteboard and we started writing down anytime we sold a challenge pack with 9-week control freak to people, we started writing down their names. And it was just really fun to watch everybody, getting excited and adding names to the board and celebrating each other's accomplishments. I think that team aspect is so fun. So, maybe you're thinking all of these ideas sound great, but I don't have anybody to celebrate, or, you're just not really sure where to start. First off, let me say, unless you signed up on your own on the website and you have no idea who your upline coach is, or you haven't, signed people up like that, then that's really the only reason that you should be thinking that you don't have people to shout out and celebrate, because you don't have to necessarily have customers to celebrate. You can shout out other coaches. You can shout out teammates. It doesn't have to just be people that you signed up. But talking about that team aspect, I am so excited because February is going to be here before we know it, next week. And that means that Team Cup is going to be taking place. Team Cup is an absolutely fantastic way to get more people in your groups and to start growing your business. So let me just circle back to myself. So whenever I joined, it was May and then August rolled around quickly, and that's pretty much right when I started coaching. Whenever I joined Team Cup in August, like I said, I only had one person signed up at the very end of July. So I had nobody basically. So do not count yourself out for Team Cup. Our team actually ended up winning the regional diamonds and below first place prize. And I never would have thought that was possible. I actually got added to a team, all thanks to my coach. She didn't even ask me. She said, I'm signing you up on this team. You're going to do Team Cup. It's going to be awesome. You're going to get some promo codes, because if she would have asked me to sign up for Team Cup, I probably quite honestly would have told her, no, I don't want to focus on all of that. I'm too overwhelmed. There's too many things going on. But clearly she knew me better than I know myself. And so she added me to that group. And I honestly really didn't do much with it. We got our first email update with our points, and I had 0 points next to my name that I had contributed to the group. Let me preface that by saying that I am an Enneagram 3, and if you don't know what Enneagrams are, you can go and do a test, but the 3 is an achiever. That means that I am very goal-oriented. I have a very competitive drive, and so when I saw that I had 0 points, I thought, okay, I need to kick myself into gear here, and I need to go and get some points added to my team. I want to be that teammate that other people want me to be. I would not want to be the slacker on the team. So I went, and a couple days after that email, I just happened to be listening to a coach training call, and it was talking about rank advancing to Emerald. So whenever I started watching that training, they said, oh, if you're considering, hitting the Emerald rank, a really great way to get to Emerald quickly and to build long-term sustainability for your business so that you can maximize your commissions and things is to sign up your husband, sign up your mom, sign up your sister, somebody that can help you along the way. So I went and I signed up my husband, and I signed up my mom, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I'm so glad that I did that, because it has just been amazing to have both of those accounts there for me. But I was so pumped because I could tell my team that I had added points to our group. And then at this point, I had an amazing transformation. Like I said, that was the whole reason that I started sharing things with people. But I told myself I was never, ever going to share my result photos with people. Well, the end of the month hit I was feeling absolutely incredible, and I was just so dang proud of where I had come from that I shared my transformation photos with my coach, and she was like, you know what, what's the worst that can happen? Like, just share this. You never know who you're going to inspire. You never know who's going to, relate to your story that you could be helping. So I shared my result photos at the very end of August 25th, actually, and I ended up helping 3 people get started with their journey on at the end of the month. And so I hit Success Club. Our team ended up hitting the top team for the Diamonds and Below, like I said. And it was just amazing because I think so many times people get caught up in all of the little things that are involved with being a coach. But really what it boils down to is just going back to the basics, like I said in the beginning. Don't worry about how much things cost, how pretty your stories are, how many people are following you, all of those things. Worry about sharing truly and genuinely what the programs are doing for you, and the rest will come. So that's my biggest advice with Team Cup. But what Team Cup did for me is that even though I had signed people up with Team Cup and we won, that was great and all, but it really launched my business into this upward trajectory that I'm in now. And the fact that I'm, qualifying for 2-star and all of those things started with me getting involved with Team Cup and being consistent and showing up over time. So a lot of the conversations that I had started back in August are still growing today, planting those seeds and continuing on. People could tell that I was excited for my journey. People could tell that I had gone all in, and they had that FOMO moment, like I said, of just wanting to watch other people and get started. So share what it's doing for you. And just know that Team Cup is a great, great way to get started. Don't count yourself out. Like I said, I had nobody whenever I first started with Team Cup, but it's that consistency and that recognition over time that has really helped to get me into a routine and to continue growing my team, along the way. So I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day. If you are part of NLC, I will probably see you later today. But I can't thank everybody enough for hopping on with me today. I hope some of these tips and tricks help you out. If you have any questions for me, I am very squirrel, so I actually turned off the comments, but I will go back through and look at the comments. You can tag me if you have any questions of anything, and I'm more than happy to connect with you after the live's over. So y'all have a fantastic Friday and a great weekend. Thank you guys so much.